What's up, good people? Let's get some more people in the chat room. Yeah, so what we're speaking on today is the double standard. And this is nothing new in regards to Africans having babies or a number of babies, a lot of babies, is considered uncivilized. But Westerners not having kids is a sign of the end of humanity. So they don't want Africans to have kids, but they want Westerners to continue to have kids. So it was two articles that came out, and it's just the irony. It's two articles that came out, and I'm gonna get into these articles. But again, Africans having too many babies is seen as uncivilized, but Westerners not having enough babies is seen as a threat to humanity. It just proves. I know there's a lot of just seen as there's a lot of documented stories of forced, or not even forced, and I would say sneaky sterilizations. I mean, you have a story in Kenya where I believe it was the Catholic Church. Hold on, let me look this story up real quick and get the facts on it. I believe it was the Catholic Church. They were giving immunizations, and they were sterilizing women. It was some church, either the Christian church or the Catholic church. So here we go, and I'll read this article real quick. It was a vaccine, and I'm sorry, it was a United Nations, a UN tetanus vaccine, and I think the Catholic Church. Let me read this. The Kenya's government has launched an investigation into the Catholic Church's allegations. Yes, Kenya's Catholic bishops are charging two United Nations organizations with sterilizing millions of girls and women under cover of anti-tetanus inoculation program sponsored by the Kenyan government. So I guess the doctors were administrating these shady and shoddy tetanus vaccines, and they were like, hey, the UN, they gave us these shady tetanus vaccines, and they were sterilizing the women. And I guess the Catholic doctors, the Kenya Catholic Doctors Association, they were administrating these tetanus vaccines. So it's always been part of an agenda, part of the agenda to make sure Black people are sterilized and not having kids, especially in Africa. I mean, they're doing that here as well in America. I mean, you have the Tuskegee experiment where they were purposely injecting not herpes, but not herpes, but what were they injecting in the Tuskegee Airmen? Syphilis. They were injecting syphilis into Black men. Because it's weird. They don't run these weird experiments on white people, but they'll run all these weird experiments on Africans and Black people. You also have, there's a book called Medical Apartheid that people need to read and go check out. And it just gives you a list of all these weird experiments that they will run on Black people. I mean, from purposely sterilizing them under the name of new drugs, or they're trying these new treatments and purposely sterilizing them for Black African people, Black people of African descent. Also, again, you have the Tuskegee experiment where, again, they were injecting men with syphilis to run an experiment. So we're always the fucking experiment. You know, so as far as sterilizing black women, African women, and making sure they don't have any kids, that's always been on the agenda, as you can see. The only reason it's uncivilized for us to have many children, that's because it's a threat to their well-being and strength in numbers scares them. There's definitely power in numbers and they're scared. That's true. There's facts in that, Nubian. Absolutely. But there was an article released, the new French president, Macron, he said, let me read his statement in regards to his thoughts on Africans having a number of kids. Let's see here. At a press conference at the G20 summit in Hamburg on July 8th, he was asked about a Marshall Plan for Africa. The president gave a disquisition on Africa's real problems, among them, in his view, demographics. The continent's true challenge was civilizational, including failed states, shaky democracies, trafficking, extremism, and population growth. Later in his reply, the effect was compounded in a spliced video that circulated widely. He pointed again to different demographics, where there are 7 or 8 children per woman, he says, spending billions is pointless. And see, that's not true. See, that's bullshit. That's a lie, because there aren't 7 or 8 children per African woman. But that was a lie. And then also, too, he's not going to mention the role France has played through colonialism and the instability in Africa not being stable. He didn't bring that shit up, you know, and the role they're still currently playing in Africa in regards to continue to keep African countries, the Francophone countries, destabilized. So he didn't bring that up, because when you talk about failed states, you have to bring up France. And prime example, Burkina Faso with Thomas Sankara. Thomas Sankara, because the French played a role in the assassination. Sorry, I just plugged it on my laptop. The French played a role in the assassination of Thomas Sankara. In fact, Burkina Faso was doing great during when Thomas Sankara was in power, and then the French took him out. The West took him out. So, I mean, you have to look at that. You have to look at the Congo with Patrice Lumumba. So yeah, these states are failing is because the West is playing a role in putting in puppets, which is causing the states to fail. But see, they don't want to talk about that. Look at Libya. That's another one. You're right. Look at Libya. Exactly. They're afraid that we'll start controlling our resources, which is our resources. So we have to understand, what you guys know, a self-sufficient Africa is pretty much the end of Europe, and they know that. A strong, self-sufficient Africa where Africans are controlling the resources, where a stable Africa will lead to an unstable Europe or unstable West, and they know that. They absolutely know that. That's why they have to have their hands in everything in regards to Africa. So yeah, what's up, full circle? No, we're just talking about how, per the West, Africans having babies is uncivilized, but Westerners not having babies is a threat to humanity. And Emmanuel Macron, the new French president, said that part of the reason why Africa is in the situation they are in is because each African woman has 7 to 8 kids, which is not true. They don't. That's bullshit. But now there was another article released not too long ago. This is from July 27th. This is on RT.com. Humanity at risk as sperm levels among Western men plummet to record low. Now, you know, when they say Western men, that's code for white men when they say that. That's what that is code for. Chemicals, diet, stress, and lifestyle choices have caused the sperm levels of Western men to plummet to less than 50% of what they were 4 decades ago. The research found that sperm in the ejaculate of men from Europe, North America, Australia, and New Zealand fell by 1.4% every year between 1973 and 2011. So now they're panicking. So, and let's read that first sentence again. Chemicals, diet, stress, and lifestyle choices have caused the sperm levels of Western men to plummet to less than 50%. So one thing about Africa, when I travel throughout Africa, let's start with diet.
Nobody.
Oh, let me turn this off. Turn this off. The food is always fresh. So the chemicals and diet part go hand in hand. Because the bullshit they put in these foods here in America. Stress. There's a study done saying that African people are the most happiest people on the planet. And lifestyle choices. Let's talk about that. LGBTQ movement here in America. Admitting, and you know, a lot of people get offended when we say that. It's like, look, the LGBTQ movement in any society is counterproductive because you can't have kids. And now the effects of that is being shown right here in this study. But when you mention that, you know, you're called homophobic, you know, and all the other terms. But they're saying chemicals and diet, which is hand in hand, which is the bad food, stress. They said African people are some of the happiest people on the planet, and lifestyle choices. You know what that means? Is, you know, not living a heterosexual lifestyle, but a homosexual lifestyle. Choices have caused the sperm levels of Western men to plummet to less than 50% of what they were 4 decades ago. A new study has found. Now, your lifestyle choice, you might have your sperm levels regularly, obviously, but, you know, 2 women and 2 men, or 2 men in a homosexual lifestyle can't have kids. Or engaged in a homosexual lifestyle can't have kids. That's just the facts of it. And so now people are starting to panic about it. And so currently right now, when you deal with Africa, especially in South Africa, I think they're trying to import American chickens or North American chickens from the United States of America to South Africa. Man, South Africans do not eat these chickens that are coming from North America. They're filled with all types of chemicals, all types of steroids. Don't touch those chickens, which goes hand in hand with diet. Stress, stay happy, and smile. People are stressed out over here, committing suicide. Just the suicide rate here in America is high. I mean, people can't find jobs. It's getting more expensive to live. Like, this lifestyle is not for everybody here in America. And then lifestyle choices. You know, of course, when Barack Obama came to Kenya, came to Africa, that's the first thing he brought up. You guys need to be more accepting to, you know, a certain lifestyle. And Africans are like, no. And then, of course, you know, countries like Uganda, he threatened to get rid of their aid, which, you know, they shouldn't have aid anyway. But he was super militant over lifestyle choices. And again, I'm not hating, you know, I'm not hating on anybody who might be a part of the LGBTQ community, not at all. But it's just the reality of it is, if you can't have kids, you can't reproduce, that could be a threat to humanity. And this is not me saying this. This is, I mean, this article was on RT. It was on just about every news outlet. So it's not me saying that. It's not someone being homophobic. It's just, you know, two men, a man with a man or a woman with a woman can't have kids. So you have all of this, and now they're stressing out about it. But then in Africa, people are happy as hell. The food is fresh. I mean, they kill the chicken right in front of you. You know, they're rejecting, you know, the LGBTQ lifestyle. They're saying like, look, this is not African. It's not us. When Obama brought it. So they're having a lot of kids. You know, they can have kids. They have no issue. There's not an issue in Africa with people not having kids. Far from it. But, you know, when Obama comes into Africa saying, hey, you guys better accept this and embrace that, you know, certain lifestyle that you guys don't agree with, when they're forcing South Africa to accept our dirty chickens filled with steroids and chemicals. When you got Bill Gates saying that, you know, talking about population control, he's talking about Africa, in Africa, reducing the population in Africa. It's a clear agenda. Again, when they have these vaccines that are sterilizing women, it's clear. It's not a conspiracy theory that they want Africans, they want to reduce your population, and that they do not want you guys to have kids, which will be the end of Africa. That's what they want. So I wanted to touch on that. What's up, everybody in the chat? Exactly, Africa knows what's up. Now, if Africa could just get rid of their terrible leadership, if Africa get rid of the terrible leadership and take control of the resources, Africa will be okay. Hold on one second, you guys. Hey, what's up, Dre? Okay, here I go. All right, I got to end early. Got some friends in town, so we're about to get up. So yeah, man. I just wanted to share that. Africans keep having kids, keep eating that fresh food, and everything in the West is not good for you. I hope you guys come to that realization. So hopefully this helped. Hopefully this made sense. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Brian, how, Brian? Voodoo is inclusive of homosexuality. I would say this, in Haiti it is, but in Benin it's not. It's kind of like the U.S. military when they had the don't ask, or don't tell, don't ask. It's like that. Now in Haiti, they're full open with it. But when the Haitians that are in the LGBTQ community come to Benin, to Africa, they don't bring it up. They don't talk about it. They're not in the open about it. So again, the westernized are the Haitian voodoo. They are. But in Benin, you're not gonna walk around and pretend or even act like it's inclusive of it. Me and you both know this, Tyler. But like you said, in Haiti, it is. No, Brian, you're not stopping anyone from reproducing. Of course not. But you can't reproduce. I mean, that's just a fact. Am I lying? Like me, if I choose not to have kids, I'm not producing. So yeah. But if you guys got any more questions, just drop them in the chat. I got to get out of here, or just shoot me an email. Make sure you guys subscribe. Make sure you guys follow me. Search for Guru on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and Facebook. Make sure you guys go to Instagram. If you guys haven't added me on Instagram, please do. Africa Personified is out. You know, I launched a little project of mine. So again, Dynasty Samir, next time. Peace.